Before Ryan and I used Shopify, our lives were pretty bleak. We would sell our t-shirts on street corners and only sell, one or two a year. But then we became aware of a beautiful service known as Shopify. You see, as growing entrepreneurs, Ryan McGee and myself needed a better platform to sell our stuff on. Luckily, Shopify came around and made that whole process incredibly easy, and dang does it look good. You can be just like SuperMega and use Shopify to upgrade your business and get the same checkout we have. Sign up for your $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/super, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/super, all lowercase. All lowercase is not part of the URL. It's just super, all lowercase letters. Shopify.com/super.
Congratulations, you won! Alert! 今天恢复你美丽的 Boston。
Spit on that thing. Welcome back to Super Mega Show, everybody. I'm your host, Matt Watson, and this is your other host,
Ryan McGee. And there's a big update since last time we've been around. Now, we were a bit late on the news, as we probably will be for the number when it reaches number 1. But Talk Tua at number 2. We always have to do a Talk Tua update at the top of the podcast.
Yeah. You guys been asking for it.
Yep.
And
it's like a new segment.
Right.
In fact, you heard Luke's little jingle that he made. It's all a cappella. It's really good.
Very impressive.
I didn't know he knew how to layer different, I guess his different layers of audio to create like a symphony of I don't know what to call it, a symphony of Luke's voice. I guess.
I mean, he said that when he was younger he was in choir, and he was so good that they ended up going to like Sweden or something.
I didn't know he could hold the note of spit on that thing, and he goes on.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I know he's editing this podcast, just going, oh fuck. All right, well, one of you guys is gonna have to help me record this,
well, and
then we're just like,
well, it has to be your voice in canon, in Super Mega canon. It has to be your voice. We already explained it, Luke.
Yeah, and we don't have to help him record it because it's not like it's on camera necessarily. It's just audio.
He just records all of his instruments, like going ba 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 ba, and then another one going do 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 do,
like the pentatonics.
Yeah, and then he just layers them together.
It's actually pretty crazy because Luke does genuinely have a really beautiful voice. I have still yet to hear him actually use it. Our audience actually will before you and I get to, because he's always so shy about letting those pipes shine,
Yeah.
He actually did like go to Sweden or Norway or something in high school with his choir because he was so good at singing.
He had his own choir?
He
was the conductor?
He was yeah, he was a savant in high school when it came to conducting. It was crazy. But he did. So he's actually like very talented when it comes to vocals, but he refuses to let you and I hear.
Well, he's got to save it.
Exactly.
For the right moment. Maybe, not even during Happy Birthday, I will say, have I heard his true singing voice. He doesn't. Mm-mm. Also, I noticed that in general, when people sing Happy Birthday, it's Happy Birthday. It always comes from such a Such a just a low grumbling register.
It's because he thinks that like he's gonna like no one's really gonna hear his voice, so he's gonna let everyone else just kind of carry it, and he's like happy birthday, which is lazy.
I wish all people sung happy birthday like a loving mother on their child's, like the quintessential. If you don't have a loving mother, then this is the idea of a loving mother.
Right, you can experience it maybe for the first time from our show.
They're like happy birthday. Yeah, they're getting into it.
Yeah,
but no one gets into it for birthday songs.
I wish that everyone like in the entire room would put the amount of effort into singing happy birthday that, like you said, a loving mother would. Everyone, before the almost like an American Idol audition, but a good one.
Yes.
Before the birthday party, everyone is at home, putting on their makeup, looking in the mirror, and they are practicing. Mama, 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 mama. Happy birthday. Okay, good.
Every now and then the birthday child, I guess, I don't know. In this imaginary, I'm putting myself in it, so the birthday boy.
Birthday child.
Yeah, the birthday child. It is the birthday child's day. Dude.
What?
I don't know, just birthdays don't hit like they used to. Now it's just another it really is just another day, I would say. Like up to this point.
Well, I mean, your 30th was the last big one.
Yeah.
For 10 years. Then 40 will be big. But
and then
I feel like 30 really is the last, like,
woohoo!
Woo, okay, birthdays don't mean shit anymore.
Yeah.
No, like, you don't have the right to throw a huge party, or, well, you always do.
No, I can no longer have pool parties with a Pikachu piñata and a Digimon cake.
Well, you can. You just can't keep doing them at the water park because they have, guidelines.
I don't have a pool. Where's the most affordable place?
Right.
It would be a water park.
But when
not a public pool, especially in Los Angeles.
When you had me rent out the water park area for the birthday party thing for your 30th, they asked me what's the birthday boy's name. I said Ryan, and they said, oh, and how we'll have a cake ready. How old is he turning? And once again, just like the last actually every time I had to lie, and I said he's turning 12.
I mean, you don't have to lie.
Well, yes, I do, because they cut it off. I'm pretty sure it's 16. So
the world runs on money. I'm sure they'll take you. It doesn't matter. It's just a birthday.
No, the world, well, at least America runs on Dunkin'.
And also, they didn't do an Agumon cake. By the way, it was a Charmander cake, which is a Pokemon.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the water park. They're not like cake specialists,
I put Agumon in all caps, underlined.
Okay, well, I told you also that you were just typing in your notes app, and they don't actually see that. I had to call them and tell them, and I told them Charmander.
They're completely different.
That's my fault.
One's an orange dinosaur with like an ember on the end of its tail,
right.
And then the other one is also has fire powers, but it doesn't have an ember on his tail. He's just an orange dinosaur.
I know.
So they're different.
I know. One's from Digimon, one's from Pokemon, but that was my fault. And we've actually already had this conversation several times. It's almost like you keep forgetting that I've apologized, and you just keep wanting
Not publicly. And if you haven't apologized publicly, then is it really an apology?
No, it's not.
So,
well, I'm sorry.
I wish that was a thing you could in family member disagreements, the family members would have to upload like an apology video to Facebook.
Hey guys,
I peaked for Christmas this year.
like an 11-year-old having to make like a sobbing apology video. I went in the closet and I looked in the box where the presents were, and I saw that I'd be getting Beyblades.
But it's a good thing I did check, because they didn't get the right one, so now they can go back and get the right stuff.
No, man. If my mom caught me peeking, I'm not getting that present anymore.
I peeked. I still got the present, but I got the whole it really did ruined Christmas that year. Not like
It ruined Christmas.
it like ruined the vibes. Like
The vibes were just off.
for like they were, because like it came Christmas Day.
It's Christmas morning. The whole family's just sitting there awkwardly.
My
tense.
dad knew, because like this was I think, if I can recall correctly, it was the jump that I made from having a tube television to a like a flat monitored television.
Is this the one you got in 7th grade?
Yeah.
That has just been passed around and I believe is still in someone's possession?
I think so.
Because I
yeah.
ended up with it. You had it.
And then you passed it down to someone else, who passed it down to...
I believe it's still going.
Okay.
It's a TV you got in 7th grade.
It is.
It's like an old flat screen. We used it. We used it when we started SuperMega. It's what we had in the living room. Right?
I believe so, because I brought the TV out. But I can't remember if... No, I brought the old one out because that's all I had. Because
we had it in the living room.
I had the tube television, which is what I played like Halo 3 on, and like a lot of the early Xbox 360. Like I had it for a bit, and then I got this for Christmas, and I peeked and saw it before I could have been gifted it.
How did you peek? Like, did you like wait for your dad not to be around and then you snuck in?
I always got home before my parents, because I would take the bus, and like the bus I would get home at like 4, and a typical work day doesn't end till like in between, I'm guessing like 5 to 7, depending on where you work.
Well, for us, 1 p.m.
Yeah. It flashed to us like here at 2 a.m.
Essentially, yeah. Dude, when I sneaked peeks, I know I wasn't supposed to, but I have a very specific memory. This is when
That's the only time I peeked, though.
Really?
I learned my lesson.
That's it?
I learned my fucking lesson.
Was your dad like, how did he know you peeked?
I think he had... Okay, there's one of two things. That... One is he told the truth, or one is that he didn't want me to know the truth, and so he's being a little sneaky. One is he's telling the truth, and he set like some sort of tape trap on the door or something.
Oh shit! Like CIA tactics.
Yeah. And then the other one is like he said that, just kind of had a feeling, had a father's intuition, went, I know you went into that room, right? And then all of a sudden he sees the guilt on my face.
Right. He said, I think if he was certain, he'd say, I know you went into that room.
Well, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact quote.
More like parent phrasing.
Hey.
Right?
But I do remember he was like, it just that, like, the general, as I said, I'm not verbatim, but the general sentiment was like, that just really sucks.
And it's really like,
I was excited for you to have a fun Christmas.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah,
it's
the
just,
classic.
I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, the classic.
Because I worked really hard to save up for this, and I wanted to see your face
And
light
he
up.
did.
And he wanted to see your face light up Christmas morning, and then you ripped that out of his hands.
I did.
Because he couldn't. Now, when you open it and get excited, he knows he's just like, I mean, what's the point? He already saw it.
I was still very thankful and apologetic, and I never did that again. It really felt like I was in my own sitcom. That felt like a sitcom episode.
Yeah, where you learned that lesson.
Mm-hmm. And I did. I learned my lesson.
I would sneak into. I remember it was at my like first house that I ever lived in, which was like this little 1-story brick house that was like built in the 30s. So it was designed like
you go on describing it only to figure out, like, I'm like, bro, did you live in a chimney? Like, yeah, it was this.
There was all this soot everywhere all the time, and
the floor was made out of wood.
And there was this metal thing that was just like really, really sharp that you had to step around. Essentially, though, the way it was built was like you would walk in and then go down a hallway, and then at the end of the hallway would be my parents' bedroom. And I don't know why I mentioned that it was built in the
hallway in this place.
I don't know why I mentioned it was built in the 30s, because that has no bearing on how the design of. I thought it did, and then I realized that it's pointless.
Because it was originally probably established in the 30s. It's not working off of 30s architecture in terms of like stability.
Yeah. Anyway, I go in my parents' bedroom, and they had a closet that, from what I remember. Okay. Sorry. I was like thinking back to specifics.
Boring.
No. Wait. Let me redo it.
I'm
All right.
bored,
No,
and
wait,
so
wait,
is
wait,
the
wait.
audience.
Anyway, I go in the closet when my mom is not around, and I know that the
Put a poll in chat. Who's bored? Bing, 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 ding, 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 bing. You know, those are the computer sounds of the votes coming in.
But I thought I was being clever, and I found where the presents were. They were already wrapped. You know what I
Okay.
did? I wanted Thomas trains. You know, like what I really wanted was like 2 or 3 Thomas trains, and I saw the shape of these presents, and I'm like, I bet those are Thomas trains.
I just picture it's wrapped like literally like the silhouette of like a steam engine.
Like a cartoon. It's like perfectly around the chimney and like the smokestack and everything. But I had a feeling, and I peeled the paper, as in not like I didn't like open where it had been like folded over. I literally ripped it, and I looked, and I could see where I ripped it. There was the plastic, and inside the plastic I could see that smiling face of a Thomas train, and I was like, and I was like, shit, my mom's gonna. Well, I didn't say shit because I was a child, but I said, shoot, my mom's gonna know that I looked at this. So I got a piece of tape, and I just put the piece of paper back and taped over it. So if you look at the present, it's like neatly wrapped, and then just a huge piece torn out, and then just a piece of tape put back over it to put the piece back on.
Your mom called that out.
Oh yeah, she was like, Matthew, and it was kind of the same thing. She's like, I know you were peeking at the Christmas presents, and made me feel real dumb for that little method. But I did feel really, really bad, and she did this whole thing where she's like, it was a real problem. I peeked more than once on one occasion throughout the years, and my mom said, all right, new rule, if you peek, it's going back to the store.
The only other like quote unquote peeking I ever did, like I never actually saw the presents naked and unwrapped like I did that first time, or that one time. But
First time, yeah. Wait.
no,
Little slip up there.
That's why I corrected myself, Matthew. But I remember it would be like whoever got up first, it was their responsibility. Because when I was younger, a lot of the times on Christmas Eve, my stepbrothers and stepsister my step siblings would all be together, and whoever woke up first or whoever stayed up the latest, depending on what that would be, would get everyone else up. We'd go down and we'd take a look at like the different, because the way it was set up for our Christmases, there was separate piles.
Yeah.
So, you know, mine would be up to the roof, and then
Sure.
they'd have like their couple presents.
Like an orange and some walnuts.
Yeah. In fact, actually, they shared a pile.
The wonder of waking up Christmas morning and you haven't seen the tree yet, and then like
dude.
you're the first one up, and you either you sneak down and you see the glow of the tree, and then you're like, when you see the presents for the first time, God, it was that magic is so pure, and it sucks that I will never feel it again.
I mean, you could be a 30-year-old man that still believes in Santa Claus, but I don't know if you have the balls to do it anymore.
Do you have the balls to still believe in Santa? It's like Jesus asking, like, there's some part of the Bible where he's basically saying, like, do you have the courage to tell them that you believe in me when they ask? Same thing. It's like,
dude, I wish there was a story in the Bible that involved Santa Claus with his reindeer.
is it
Like he has to come save the day, like while Jesus is doing the 40 days and 40 nights in the desert or something. Like Jesus, like Saint Nick comes by, but they're pals. But in a way, he's like, still, I can ride you out of this, no problem. We'll go back, share a cold mug of hot cocoa.
a cold mug of hot cocoa?
I appreciate it, Saint Nicholas, but I must do my due diligence
Saint
for
Nicholas.
the children of the Lord.
I love
Need
it.
me.
A Bible story about fucking Santa Claus and his reindeer.
They beckon my blood to be spilled.
Wait, wasn't there's that Pure Flix movie about the
No, I don't watch stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Pure Flix.
Pure, Pure Flix sounds like a board, like...
Pure Flix with 3 X's.
yeah.
We should. I wonder if PureFlix with 3x's.com is taken.
Might have to start it.
Might have to start the first Christian porn website.
You were about to say something.
I was gonna say they made that movie though, where like it's a school shooting, and the kids are the shooters are asking people, "Do you believe in God?" And then when they say yes, they shoot them. Mm-hmm. And I'm imagining that same movie, but they're asking, "Do you believe in Santa Claus?" And it's about the courage of standing up in the face of death and saying, "I do believe in Santa.
I do. I do."
And when the shooters go, "Oh," everyone starts chanting it, and they're like, "Oh, oh."
The shooters start to sparkle and float up in the air, and all of a sudden, like an invisible, like you see a shadow start to bounce around, and a shadow like pants as them. They go, "Oh, oh, ah!" He has like hearts on his boxers, and they're pink, and people go, "Ah!"
Everyone's laughing, dude. You know these tropes of these like old movies just so well off the top of your head, like the boxers being exposed.
Dude, no one has the guts to end a school shooting movie like that.
Like a fully like
Unless
gritty, serious school shooting movie. It's violent. It's like shocking, and then it ends with some magic shit like that. And he gets pantsed and
you missed. I was saying unless they put us in the director's chair, I think we could make it happen.
Direct it.
We have so many good ideas,
and
a school shooting movie that ends with like a Peter Pan reference, essentially. Not essentially, it is. I mean, the shadow and everything.
Sure,
it's a Peter Pan reference
with some magical hijinks.
But it's like Remember Me or whatever the fuck that movie is with Robert Pattinson, where it ends with 9/11. It's like a big surprise.
Now, it doesn't end with 9/11. It just yes, it does, but you don't see them hit the towers. It just shows him in the tower, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, and then you're like, uh-oh, and then you see on the like chalkboard or whatever whiteboard there, you see the date is September 11th. And
right.
That's when you're like, uh-oh. Well, regardless of getting off track and debating that, I think it would be similar.
100%, and everyone would talk about the big twist in the school shooting movie,
where it's like I was not expecting it to be in the Peter Pan verse, in the Panoverse.
I seriously, like, I the whole movie, I was on the edge of my seat. I almost threw up because of the graphic nature of the shootings. And then, just out of left field, man, I did not expect that. Written, directed, and starring SuperMega. You and I play the shooters.
They still have a long way to go in terms of the depictions of Native Americans, though. Still has not changed since the Disney era.
Yeah, but the rest of the movie was like fantastic, and ignoring those depictions,
we were
great.
trying to stay true, like us in like an interview on just like CNN. We were trying to accurately depict what we grew up with as kids. That's our nostalgia.
Well, it's a school shooting movie, though. So I mean, is nostalgia really? Is this the place for that?
Shut up.
They cut the feed, and I would love to go on a CNN. Or just any news interview with you where it's the type where we're in our own little like box staring straight at the camera.
We have to debate someone, like it would be on Fox more than like we have to debate someone about our movie, because that's where what is the made, or was it Entertainment Tonight? Remember there was the Quentin Tarantino interview that he was doing with the lady, 'cause it's fun, Jan. That
was I want to say E or Entertainment, where it's with him with Samuel L. Jackson, that one, where they're all sitting in like the director's chairs around each other.
The way he's like, "I'm rich, bitch," and then he threw up a gang sign, and
I can't tell if you're joking.
No, yes, I'm joking. Yes,
I mean, I've seen clips from that interview.
Call her
with
a
Quentin.
bitch and then throw up a gang sign.
I don't know. It's Tarantino. I could see it.
It is true. He does code switch pretty frequently.
I know. It's very sad.
You know what I'm saying, dog?
You know, cuh. I wish he code switched between more than just like. I wish he added in more. Like he would switch to like a Hispanic.
Well, take him to a Mexican restaurant, or honestly, a Taco Bell drive-through.
Yeah, that's the most embarrassing. Is, tries to order in Spanish, broken Spanish, and he's doing the accent.
Yeah, you still can't take your dad to a Popeyes drive-through.
Oh, heaven forbid. I learned my lesson the first time.
He starts talking with like a Cajun accent.
No, I do declare. There's in one of the Christmas tree videos we did, maybe it was the guys get a Christmas tree 4. It was there's like just a clip where we're walking through the Christmas tree lot, and it's just like a quick cutaway to you, and you're like sucking on a candy cane, and you're doing like
Leghorn.
Yeah, you're doing like this Cajun Creole accent.
It's Foghorn Leghorn, dude.
Sorry.
No, I say.
It's so funny. I think about it like every now and then. It just pops in my head just that like, no, I say.
Now you know who Foghorn Leghorn is.
Of course I know who Foghorn Leghorn is. Yeah, it's the big bird.
Okay.
Yeah. Not from Sesame Street. He's
No.
the big bird.
God, dude. Every now and then my heart feels the nostalgia of like I picture myself watching like old Big Bird and Snuffleupagus, and I have
dude.
There's like, you get that aura of nostalgia. The same thing happens. I've said this multiple times when I think of that, like the 1993 or where it's some 90s Barney Christmas special where he. Sorry, I'm just remembering the premise. I don't even remember. Sorry. Barney takes a bunch of kids to the North Pole without their parents knowing or any permission slips being signed. I just realized the no permission slips part.
Well, the early 90s was a different time.
Let's go to the North Pole. So, so how was school today? Barney, who's Barney?
Well, wait, he took you out of school?
Where'd you go? The North Pole. What? Yeah, I got lots of candy, and I got to see all the elves, and I got to see Santa Claus. He was this old man with a big, bushy, white beard. Just the parents going, so Barney took you out of school.
Called the school. It's like, was Nelson? Was he? No. He left early with several other students. What? Was this a field trip? No, he was picked up.
They're all signed out under Barney.
Oh, man. Yeah, different time, man.
But that is the premise. Barney takes a bunch of kids to the North Pole.
I miss when you could do that because, God forbid, last time you and I tried to pick some kids up without, the permission slips and just signing them out in the middle of the day to take them to a restaurant because we're trying to be nice and do something for the community. Everyone loses their shit.
We went to church and, we heard a sermon about charitable works and, we couldn't think of anything more charitable than providing joy to a bunch of kids.
And where do you find a bunch of kids?
Yeah.
School. So, ads. Here's some ad reads. Before Ryan and I used Shopify, our lives were pretty bleak. We would sell our t-shirts on street corners and only sell, one or two a year. But then we became aware of a beautiful service known as Shopify. You see, as growing entrepreneurs, Ryan McGee and myself needed a better platform to sell our stuff on. Luckily, Shopify came around and made that whole process incredibly easy, and dang does it look good. That's right, for people who want to sell things, Shopify is the way to go. Now, instead of selling shirts on street corners, we're selling them from the comfort of our bedrooms. Not in the same bed, but from our bedrooms, because we can use it on our phones and laptops. But Shopify genuinely makes our entire process such a breeze. We've used it forever. They make setting up an online store super easy. They have a ton of great themes to choose from, and they have fantastic, analytics and stuff. They've made the whole process of selling an item online super lickety-split. That's a synonym for easy. I genuinely could not imagine doing this whole shindig without Shopify. It truly carries the weight of the Funny Brothers on its back. Shopify also has award-winning customer support. I have given them a call in the middle of the night before, and they were incredibly fast and helpful and helped me fix my problem lickety-split. I said that word again. Do you like it? But whether you're selling pet rocks or locks of your mother's hair, I'll tell you something, Shopify is the way to go. You can be just like SuperMega and use Shopify to upgrade your business and get the same checkout we have. Sign up for your $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/super, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/super, all lowercase. All lowercase is not part of the URL, it's just super, all lowercase letters. Shopify.com/super. Do you think the lawyer's going to let us?
No.
Actually, should we?
No.
I mean, we didn't get... Well, the charges were brought down from felony to misdemeanor, so maybe Luke should just cut that part out. I don't know. Anyway, we'll come back from the ads now. Woo! Bada bing, bada boom. You guys enjoy those ads?
Is that your new catchphrase?
That is. It's something I've been working on.
I heard you trying it out in the restroom.
Yeah, beforehand. I was looking in the mirror.
Woo! Bada bing, bada boom. Woo! Bada bing. Woo! Bada bing, bada.
How'd I do?
Bada bing, bada. Bada boom. Bada boom.
it's a
Bada
tongue
boom.
twister.
Bada bing. Bada boom. Bada bing. Bada boom. Woo! Bada bing. Bada. Fuck. Woo! Bada bing. Bada boom. I heard it was great.
Dude, I mean, you actually kind of just nailed exactly what you heard in the bathroom. I went on a little longer than that, but
Well, I had to consolidate it for the audience.
how'd I do?
I think you nailed it.
I didn't slip up. I didn't trip over my letters.
Hammer, nail.
Nice.
Nailed
Okay.
it.
That conveys it very well to me. How you felt about it. Thank you. Woo! Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. Just the once was good.
You sure?
You just like think of like Iron Man 2. You don't want so much of Iron Man so quick, or else it's gonna come out sloppy and rushed.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's sloppy, but do you think there's a possibility that it could get like overdone maybe, and people get tired of it, and it's like, oh, here he goes again.
Just give it some time. They learned their lesson, from after 2. After they waited a good long time for Iron Man 3, and that gave people enough time to kind of a lot of people would be like, Iron Man 3 is one of my favorite Marvel movies now, because they miss Iron Man so much. Well, they saw him in the Avengers and Age of Ultron and little cameos here and there.
Age of Jontron. Do you think I should wait until the next episode to do it again, or do you think I can end it with the catchphrase too?
Maybe end it.
Okay.
Or we could
we'll see how it goes.
We could what's it called? We could paygate it, or whatever the term is.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So
what's the term?
Paywall.
Paywall.
They could hear it once, and then if they want to hear it again, they have to pay money.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
At least 5 smackaroons.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe we could
Sorry.
put it on its own tier. The $50 tier.
We've been talking about doing a $50 tier.
And once a month they get a video of me looking at the camera going, I do the catchphrase.
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah.
I don't want to. Hey, I don't want to talk shop on the cast, but not a bad idea, McGee. Not a bad idea at all. So, what's new in the McGeeverse?
Well, getting ready because I'm leaving soon to. And I have to say,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just like, by our fans, time and time again, I'm always blown away by the understanding and generosity and kindness. I went on stream because you asked me that question. I answered that question on stream. What am I about to do? I'm going to go to a family wedding.
Right, because you're going to be gone for 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks. I'm going to go to the wedding, and I'm going to also take the time to see some family and friends in South Carolina because I rarely get to go there. So that's what I'm doing, and I'll be gone for a little bit, which means we won't have a stream 1 week. And I have to say, listen to these words.
Yeah.
I like how they're just taking turns, taking expensive trips most people wouldn't be able to afford, and doing less and less streams. Must be nice.
It must be nice.
Sorry, I think I read that with a more positive tone.
I think it is positive, right? They're saying it must be nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, on reread, I could see. I almost got like a facetiousness.
I don't think it's facetious. I think it's truly earnest, and I hope that you have fun on your expensive fancy vacation.
I love that. I love that in their head, like me going home to go to a family wedding and see my family, and then like friends who live in South Carolina who I don't see often for a week and a half. For like, I think I'm gonna be gone for 11 days or some shit like that.
I don't think that that's acceptable.
I like how it's described as, remember, my trip home to South Carolina is an expensive trip that most people in their whole lives would not be able to.
Well,
afford.
Irmo, South Carolina is the #1 travel destination for rich people.
Of course.
It's a very luxurious area.
Oh yeah.
I think they're also
downtown Columbia.
Woo, Harbison.
Nothing but marbled line streets.
Oh my goodness, golden brick roads. I think they're also referencing that I recently went to Japan for a week. And you see, that was not that was for my 2-year anniversary, and it was a promised trip for a very long time. So,
Gay.
Dude, come on, man.
Like in Community.
Yeah,
when,
I know what it is, dude, and I don't like that clip because it hurts my feelings because I internalize it.
Okay,
and,
no, it's fine.
I'm gonna enjoy some time off while you go on your little fancy vacation. Where I don't have to hear you call me gay.
Most people work their whole lives to afford an American Airlines flight to Irmo, South Carolina, and you just take it like it's nothing.
They
you
just fucking
bastard.
wish. I think you should rethink things, though. Yeah. That was the first. I mean, that was the first time I've traveled since COVID. I think in terms of like a trip.
Well, of course, like
it's been like 4 or 5 years.
I'm joking. That is like a small percent of our audience who thinks in that odd way.
We're not ragging on all you guys.
No, we know most people who watch are regular people with a.
They're chill.
Yeah.
CHIL.
Right, guys? You're chill.
Show us in the comments that you're chill.
Prove who's the chillest in the comment section below.
Have a chill off.
Share a story of you or a friend you know being chill.
Yeah, let's.
But then it wouldn't be you being chill; it would be your friend. But if you love your friend, you might want
to. They can include the friend in their story. But,
yeah.
But guys, come on! In the comment section, let's have a chill off. Let's see which listener/viewer is the most chill.
Exactly.
If you're listening to this on streaming services, just the audio, then we implore you to go to the YouTube video and maybe comment your chillest story, because I want to look through these with Ryan, and I'd love to see how chill some of you guys can be, and I'd love to see who's the chillest of them all. And you guys can vote. You can thumbs up people's comments and respond and go, damn, you are chill. What are you doing?
Just drinking some water.
Why are you standing up? Sit down.
Oh, just stretching my back a little.
Yeah. You know how many people fucking wish they could stretch their back a little? Sit down, Ryan.
People pay $5 a month for them to just goof off and stretch their backs while they're recording the podcast.
The least they could do is cut that part out. Luke, cut it out.
The least they could do is the bare minimum for a merch launch.
Hey, listen, man. I don't want to let these goobers affect the way we crack a lack and the way we throw it back.
Wait, was that a Madagascar reference with Marty, the zebra?
No, I was in the hood recently, and I heard some guys say that, so I thought it was cool, and I was like, I'm gonna use that on the show.
I relate more to Marty
than who?
I didn't grow up in the.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. I understand fully.
But Marty, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Marty's pretty fucking cool, dude. So was Marty McFly from Back to the Future.
Marty McFly's pretty cool for a white guy. Come on.
Yeah, he is pretty McFly for a white guy. That was a big song. Don't you wish we could go back to the days of America when Pretty Fly for a White Guy was #1 on the radio?
I love the thought of you being scared.
It's like My Fear of Vomit, but it's just for when you belch. So every time I see you kind of like rearing up for a burp, I have to leave the room and cover my ears and look away. Dude, my fear of vomit has been returning, unfortunately. I don't know why, but it has been creeping back up on me.
Tell me about it.
Why'd you say it like that? Like you don't want to hear about it.
I asked. Tell me about it.
Okay.
Nerd.
I'm going to pretend like you didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm going to just go...
Dorkenstein. It's like Frankenstein, but I put dork in front of it because you're like the Frankenstein of dorks. Dorkenstein.
Seriously? I'm the Frankenstein of dorks?
Yeah.
Where do you fucking get off, man? Don't, man.
Come on.
I set it up by accident, and then I immediately realized what I had done, and I unset it. I set it down. Okay? So don't even make a comment.
I set your mom
Shut the
down
fuck up, dude. Don't.
On my lap and bounce her up and down.
What? In a sexual way?
I would imagine.
I mean, it could just be like
maybe
it bouncing her on your knee because maybe she's a little stressed out, and it's like, come here. She has fun. Nothing sexual about it.
I don't know. She thinks it's like a washing machine.
Okay. Well, that's not it's sexual necessarily.
Yeah, my mom would go into the washing machine all the time to do the laundry, of course.
She would go into the washing machine.
She'd go into the washer room.
She'd climb in the washing machine with all the clothes. Go, all right, I'll be out in a bit. Shuts it behind her. Then next thing you know, clean clothes. And she was clean as well. Her hair looked beautiful and sleek and clean. Could you bounce me on your knee a little bit?
If you want me to.
Yeah? Is that all right?
Yeah.
Kind of just want to feel it.
Yeah.
Apologies for my bony ass, but...
Okay. Yeah. Go. Ready?
Yeah.
See that?
Oh.
Right?
Stop.
Okay. Right?
Yeah, okay. Like, if you want to take a spin, let me know.
Okay.
You want to take a spin?
No, I'm good. I'm
You sure?
good. Yeah.
That was fun.
I'm chill. Unlike our comment section.
Well, they better prove that they're chill.
Exactly.
Are you guys more chill than McGee?
Y'all have a lot to prove to both Matt.
I'm sorry. I know people hate when you burp into the mic. I didn't mean to. You can watch if you play it back. It was unexpected. It was like, boop! It snuck up on me. I'm very embarrassed.
You know, I can do it, Matt, but for you to do it?
No, it's different. I know. For you, it's classic. It's funny. It's part of your character.
But when you do it, it's gross.
Yeah, well, for me, it is gross. It's not expected of my character.
Exactly.
You know? I'm supposed to just kind of, ramble nasally and annoying for a while. And you're the one with the gas from both ends.
I'm the sweaty fat one of the duo.
And I'm the sickly, scrawny, nasally annoying one. So it's like
name that duo.
They're not expecting it from me, and they don't like it when they hear it. They go, "Oh, Jesus," and they turn it off. I interrupted you with it though. I'm sorry.
Did you interrupt me?
Yeah, and you stopped talking about what you were talking about because of my little.
No, I had a lot more fun talking about the burp than probably what I was even going to talk about.
Talking about how they need to prove that they're the chillest.
Oh, that's probably it. That's probably where the idea can they still right now even have to, like, maybe they're letting it ruminate a bit, or maybe they're waiting to get to the end of the podcast because only the chillest of listeners make it to the very end.
That's true. I don't want people popping in because they hear, on an online forum that, hey, you don't even need to watch the new episode. Just go in the comments and comment how chill you are.
Desperately clambering for watch time, making it a competition of their audience to see who's the chillest. Fuck. This is just like Nazi Germany.
They're onto us again, dude. We tried to disguise the watch time thing as a fun contest, and once again,
a fun contest.
We've been brought.
Like we actually you go into Photoshop and you make like a banner for like who's the the chill off,
the chill off,
the super mega chill off.
What is? Oh, it's the it's the fish tank behind you. It made a louder,
more like the piss
sound.
Tank.
It is full of piss.
Yeah, well, we needed to fill it up a little bit, and we were out of filtered water.
Yeah. So basically, the fish tank that's behind Ryan, if you go back to the first episode where we had it, it was pristine and beautiful. It currently is
half empty or half full, depending on your perspective.
It's your perspective, It's how you look at it. It's the fish tank half full, with a little bit of piss, because the water level got a little bit below the filter, so. What do? We piss in it. Very impressive, too, the way you were able to, I was going to take the fish tank down so we could pee into it, but you did the whole thing where you played around with your penis for a minute to get it hard and then arced it, the piss stream up over into the tank.
Well, you're not even mentioning the double stream. I have to edge myself to make sure that there's, a blockage of solidified semen in my urethra so I can split the piss stream.
Solidified pre-semen.
Yeah, pre-semen.
Well, I didn't see you ejaculate, right?
Well, no.
It was pre-semen.
It has to stay. It has to that you have to edge so it calcifies and solidifies in your urethra so it can split the stream when
straight
when
down
you
the
pee.
middle.
Yeah,
just into two perfect, like a fork in the road.
I call it the cobra.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. What I don't produce pre-cum nearly enough to do that. So what I have to do is, masturbate until ejaculation, but then I have to put I have to plug the tip of my penis with my finger, so the ejaculant just goes
like a cartoon
stays, and it goes whoop 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 whoop, and then I wait a couple minutes until it hardens, and then we're good to go.
Seems like it's just a total blockage at that point.
Well, what I do is I take the drill. We've got the drill.
Of
and
course.
It's the things for drilling pilot holes, and I just go through the solid semen.
Okay.
Until there's like a perfect, split thing for the piss to split out in two streams. Are you following me? Is this good? You guys like this?
This is all good. This is all good. I thought it was a good road you went down.
A good visual gag.
Yeah.
Putting my finger in my penis hole when I ejaculate.
Then it fills with cum, and then you hold it there so the cum hardens, and then you take a drill and put 2 pilot holes into the solidified cum that's also in your penis, but I'm guessing you've dilated the opening of your penis hole a little bit to get the drill in there, or maybe it's so because it's so thin. It's
the thinnest drill bit that comes in the pack of the pilot things. So, speaking of pilots, I also need to change the name of my iPhone back because every time I connect it to my car or try to airdrop something, I'm like, Pilot James, the hell? And then I remember on my flight recently, the captain at the beginning of the flight announced his name was Pilot James. So I changed the name of my phone to Pilot James so I could airdrop people things. Because it was a full flight. It was like 400 people.
You just need to go look up just pilots taking dick pics. Like, look up that in Google
in
images.
the bathroom of the plane. From you're just chilling with some 45-year-old dude just
Pilot James.
Drinking his little cocktail, reading the news, and
Imagine a dude gets fired because he finds
just airdropping a dick pic under the pilot's name. His name was James. Pilot James.
Why do you? Why
I just doxed the pilot.
What does it matter his whole name?
Just so people know. Do you want to see the pictures I was airdropping?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. There were a couple I had. Luke, put these up so people could see. There was this one. And there was this one. And then there was this one. During the flight, mid-flight.
See, this is all good fun.
Yeah, this is all good fun.
There's nothing weird about it. I thought that's funny.
No, I wasn't being creepy or anything. I was just, for those who can't see, it was it's just Photoshop pictures of pilots taking selfies out of the front cockpit window of the plane when they're 40,000 feet up, smiling.
I don't know why. I just picture you sending just some wonderfully back bent up, butthole shown, gooch visible. I'm surprised you didn't show some
Dude, well, first of all, that's at minimum sexual harassment.
I know. I'm just happy that you know that, and that
I'm not blissfully unaware that sending grotesque anus and penis pictures to strangers is at minimum sexual harassment.
Yeah, I'm very happy that the joke just ends at the charming pilots out of the window of the plane.
Well, because if I'm airdropping,
it's not
from the back, spread asshole, penis, this type of picture where you're pushing the erect penis through the back, so it's sticking backwards.
Yeah,
because if I'm airdropping Pilot James dick pics, I can't verify people's ages through airdrop, so I could be I'll send this one to Michael, and meanwhile, Michael is a 7-year-old on his iPad 3 rows up. So, you see why I wouldn't do that.
I'm just glad those thoughts
watching
come to
Coco
your head.
Melon, and then all of a sudden, I know the line.
Good. I know you know the line.
Actors be right?
I know
the line.
Hold on. Joaquin Phoenix be I'm gonna walk on.
Okay. The line.
I'm gonna walk.
Well, I'm gonna be walking.
Yes,
because it's his
name. Yeah.
I always got blasted by people for I know, but it was for saying they always said that I pronounced Joaquin Phoenix's name weird, and now every time I say his name,
Joaquin Phoenix,
I force myself to say Joaquin because I guess it would sound like I'm saying walking Phoenix, like he's a walking Phoenix. But no, now it's one of those things where every single time I say his name, I'm
So
conscious.
what is it?
What?
It's Joaquin. Yeah.
Because if I say Walking Phoenix,
Walking Phoenix.
people get mad at me, and I'm tired.
Sounds like a personal issue on their part.
I think it is, man, because I'm just out here living my life, doing my best. Why does it fucking matter if I say Walking Phoenix?
It doesn't.
It doesn't, ultimately. We're all just fucking pieces of meat on a fucking little tiny rock going through space at like 100,000 miles per hour. Nothing fucking matters, In 100 years, we'll be dead. Everyone listening to this will be dead, unless you're listening to this in 100 years. It's got to be one person. One person finds the archive of these.
Maybe.
Listens in 20... I don't know why. A, I looked at my watch, and B, I had to do the math. 2124. Which, by the way, if you are listening in 2124, you still should go in the comments and, submit your chill off. There's no deadline.
You can always take the crown.
Yeah, at the last second. So, because everyone that's competing in the chill off is dead.
Yeah, and upvotes aren't necessarily updutes aren't necessarily a positive. Those aren't votes.
Right.
An upvoted comment, because then people like Jack's Films could come in and try to be like,
Yep.
hey guys, I'm super chill, right? Or whatever the
Yeah.
fuck, and then like he gets a bunch of upvotes, and I don't know. I feel like that would be unfair. It would be like then he would win the chill off just by default of being popular.
Which is why we, made the rule where, updudes don't determine winners.
Yeah.
It's more on the chill vibes.
Yeah,
I feel like you and I, we can detect the chill vibes. So we're going through the comments, and we'll see some fucking jackass like Jack's Films saying that type of shit.
Yeah.
Or one of those channels that has a check mark that has like, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers, and they make like Roblox content, and then they comment on every video so they can, they're doing it for promotion so
Yes.
people see them. And this is not targeted at anyone specifically. It's just a thing you see on YouTube a lot. It is targeted at Jack's Films though.
Very targeted.
So I don't want people like him or little Roblox YouTubers, coming in and taking away the opportunity to be the chillest from, some truly chill individuals.
Exactly.
So if it's 2124, you can still submit your chill off submission in the comments, okay? Because we might be long dead at this point. We've been dead at this point for 30, 40 years. Who knows?
But our empire might still be continuing.
It might be growing still.
We might be bigger than Disney. We don't know.
At this point, yeah. And
We might hit, we've been working all this time, and who knows, a fluke happens when we're in our 50s, and we just become the next big thing, like Disney.
could become the next Jack's Films. even.
Disney's so in right now.
Disney's in. Disney doesn't ever go out.
Nope.
It is in.
And that's a big I think a big lesson we could learn from Disney.
I think we could learn
More
a
of
lot
us could
from
be
Disney.
like Disney.
More of us could be like Disney. We could kind of follow their rules. In fact, I really admire something they did recently, where a guy was at I think he was at a Disney park,
Okay.
or something like that, and he got injured, or something very bad happened to him, and he wanted to sue Disney, but because he had a couple years ago I agree to the terms and conditions of his Disney Plus trial. Guess what? He couldn't sue them because they had slipped that into the Disney Plus trial, into the terms and conditions, where it's like, you won't sue us if for any reason. So
Really? So
yeah.
like whoever's a Disney Plus member just can't sue Disney.
I don't know what the specifics are, but he was basically unable to sue Disney for something because years ago his Disney Plus trial, he clicked the terms and conditions accept. So
God damn.
dude, sneaking shit into terms and conditions is it should honestly be illegal.
It's the main reason why terms and conditions exist.
Like,
It's to sneak shit in there. It's not,
I
hate booting
protect the company, yeah.
I hate booting up like a fucking video game, and then I have to, because it happens a lot now, where you boot it up for the first time, and whether it's EA or Ubisoft, whoever the fuck, a page comes in. It's like with the right or left stick, you have to scroll all the way down and accept. And it's like, why do I have to do this just for a fucking game?
liability.
It's because a lot of them also, I guess, yeah. Just if it's like, is it also just like you can't sue us and shit? I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
if we give you epilepsy, I don't know.
It's just literally like a legal way for them to be like, all right, let's cover all of our bases, and also let's make sure that we can collect their data and sell it with their permission because they checked the box.
Oh, that's another. Yeah,
that's really, I think, the biggest thing is so they can collect your data and sell it.
Your playing habits, what you do. Like, I guess the thing they want the most is like what is selling, what's making the money. So it's like, what cosmetics are people buying? But even for games that don't do that shit, it just feels like
it instantly turns me off. It makes it feel more corporate. And well, speaking of, real quick, let's go to ad reads, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah,
we played Star Wars Outlaws recently.
Yes.
And it started with us having to make, or I guess we found a way around it or some shit. I can't remember. Maybe we didn't. Go watch the video.
You had to make an account or some shit and then check terms and conditions just to play the dang Star Wars game.
Yeah. I just want to boot something up and go.
Did you ever remember, like, popping in a fresh Nintendo DS game and having to fucking scroll through terms and conditions to press yes? No, bullshit, dude. I miss when games came done,
But now that, you do have those rare kind of like No Man's Sky stories, but it is very unfortunate when, sorry, I'm just getting emotional talking about this.
I know
when a game releases unreleased, or not unreleased, it releases unfinished.
Yeah,
you can tell, and that they then have, like, for the next year, a series of updates that help fine tune the game and take player feedback, and I love seeing that. I love seeing when companies and corporations listen to the consumer. That's always nice, and it makes the consumer feel nice and blah 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 blah.
The customer's always right.
Yeah, but a lot of
that guy on Reddit.
A lot of it's also just like, you also have to remember there might have been, and for people like me who still don't get into No Man's Sky, there's like a level of like disrespect that a lot of companies can just get away with, where it's just like, I think Ubisoft is a big one, where they can release pretty games, but they're not having to release anything. Like, I remember when games were marketed for more of their like gameplay and stuff, and I think mostly now it's like graphics and how good does it look,
and branded,
how good does it run.
Star Wars. Yeah. I genuinely do. I know we're a couple of old heads, but I do miss. I don't know, like back before the current model of like video game releases, it's like, all right, this game has to be as close to done as possible.
It has to be finished. There is no patch that fixes this.
Yeah, exactly.
When a game releases, any bugs that are still in there now just become like,
we'd have to update we'd have to basically release a new version and actually like program it onto the cartridge or like make new cartridges.
Yeah, so like bugs and stuff just became a part of games and stuff like that, which I loved. I
love bugs.
The time where, a game came complete and then the bugs in a game kind of became features and almost Easter eggs in of themselves.
There'd be few. Like, there wouldn't be a ton of bugs. They would just be like a handful of bugs that people would discover over the years, and they would be almost like endearing. It's like, whoa, have you tried this bug? Monkeys be like,
that was good.
But did you? Speaking of advertisers, I read this recently, and I didn't know that this was a thing. But do you know about like the supersonic frequency shit? Apparently, like, so your phone is always listening, and some stores and buildings will play a supersonic frequency that you can't hear, but your phone can, and it picks it up, which basically then tells the advertiser that you have been at that store, so they know to target you more so. It was something, I read like a thread on Reddit about it, and it was really fucking freaky, and I was like, that's a thing?
I haven't heard that at all.
It's very scary, and maybe, wouldn't it be crazy if podcasters started putting hypersonic frequencies in their podcasts?
I know. That'd be crazy.
To make their viewers more chill? For the chill off? Or to make them all trans?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, nothing. Just keep going. What were you saying?
What?
Nothing.
Make them all trans?
Well, I didn't say anything like that. Just we're talking about video games.
There's nothing wrong with that, but why would your brain go there?
That's what the government's doing, dude.
Oh.
They're putting out these
They're turning the
frequencies.
friggin' frogs gay.
They're putting frequencies in all of your favorite pop songs.
The
basically
science textbooks have giant black and white spirals in the word transgender underneath. You are transgender.
Yeah, if you stare at the word transgender too long, you start to basically go into this hypnotic trance.
That's what I feel like some people on the right, they really do feel like the teacher's like this malevolent, like clawed, sharp-toothed being who's like...
It's like dangling like a pendulum, like, you are trans now!
It's like, everyone open your books. They open the books and all of a sudden a bright light just... You are transgender. You are transgender. Go home and tell your parents.
That's the videos they play on the smartboard now. It's just like a spiral that is just, spinning around, and it's saying, you are transgender. Go home and tell your parents.
This is what they're doing to our kids.
That's what's happening in school nowadays. And it makes me sick, frankly. And they're telling our kids Santa's not real. It's fucking disgusting, dude. I'm imagining, the whole trope of, like, the dad finds out that the teacher, taught something, like, mentioned transgender, etc. in class, and the dad goes, what? Goes down to the school to have a chat with the teacher, all furious, like, you are not going to say that shit to my son. I'm imagining that, but it's for, the teacher mentions that Santa Claus isn't real, and the dad...
Imagine...
What?
Imagine, like, a second grade science teacher just, okay, we're going to cut the shit. This is the real world, and science has no time for Santa Claus, okay?
Yeah, sorry, kids. I hate to burst your bubble or rain on your parade, but this Santa guy that your parents are telling you about, he's not real. Get with the fucking agenda. Honestly, I'm sure there have been controversies, though, where teachers have told students that Santa's not real, and it has caused quite the uproar. Listen, if they're telling a class of high schoolers that...
That's fine.
I don't care. Even though
When is too old? Because I did have a friend in middle school. We're talking... 7th, 8th grade.
I don't want to get into this, honestly.
Who still believed in...
This is embarrassing for me.
Because you believed until high school? Freshman year?
I'm not going to give any specifics. It's embarrassing, though.
But I had a friend who believed it. I remember in 7th grade or something, he mentioned it, and I was like...
It's okay.
Yeah, you...
Come on,
it was
dude.
just odd.
You're never too old for Santa. What?
How old were you?
You're never too old for Santa.
What grade were you in? I mean, what grade were you in where you, like, actually stopped believing? Or, because, like, did you just get the ruse going because you thought the...
11th grade. I'm kidding. That's a joke. It was not 11th grade.
What was it?
Probably not much better.
Like 7th? Were you in high school?
No, it wasn't. It was older than 7th.
8th grade? Do you still believe in Santa Claus in, like, 7th grade?
Okay, so...
I guess you're like...
This is embarrassing. Okay, so...
I guess what, you're like 11 or 12 or some shit like that in 7th grade?
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing about Santa Claus, okay? Video essay. Here's the thing about Santa Claus. Basically, I knew that Santa wasn't real.
See, right? Yeah.
But
you wanted gifts.
But it wasn't that I wanted gifts. I knew that... my loving parents would still bestow upon me a present or two, whether Santa was real or not. But it was more so, I had this specific OCD, type of OCD when I was a teenager that made me, like, basically terrified of, like, growing up in the sense it's really weird, but it was, like, basically...
I catch you doing the Peter Pan thing, bringing it all full circle.
Mm-hmm, exactly. No, and it was weird, and obviously it's something I got over, but it was this kind of, like, weird OCD thing where I was very scared of, like, losing my... I felt like as soon as I grew up and got older, all of, like, the fun and innocence of being younger would be gone.
Yeah.
And I had severe OCD when I was a child and a teenager, so it grabs onto the weirdest things. And I think it was more so that where it was like I knew Santa wasn't real, but I was scared that if I admitted that to myself, then Christmas would no longer be
As
fun.
magical.
The magic is gone. And
Christmas is still fun. I think it's perfectly fine to be like, Christmas is definitely not as magical as when you were a child and believed in Santa Claus.
It has to stop being that magical at some point. Because that's what makes it so magical, is that it was that magical for a time, and it's a time you can look back on. And then if you have kids, you can relive that magic all over again from the other side.
Exactly. You know? Same thing with like Halloween and trick-or-treating and stuff.
That's what my mom told me. I remember my mom told me, she's like, when you have kids, Santa will become real again. And you'll be able to experience the magic of Santa again.
You'll be Santa Claus.
I'll be the Santa Claus this time. I will be him. I'll knock him off my fucking roof and
I'm
put
the
a
one
suit
who
on.
chimneys. Bitch.
I am the one who eats milk and cookies. Slay lightly.
You think a man rides a sleigh at night, lands on someone's roof, gets stuck in the chimney, and you think that of me? No, I am the Saint Nick.
I didn't have a chimney when I was younger, so I remember that always was. I was like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, how does Santa get in?" And we had an old
one of those like tubes sticking out of your houses.
Yeah, it was like above the stove. It was like a range or something. The little like tube that stuck out of the roof like that much.
Well, if you saw Disney's The Santa Claus, then you would know that he sucks into them and can morph his shape to fit any opening.
Mm-hmm. That's what they told me, was that like he's magic. It can just shrink.
Think he uses that power during sex?
Yeah, 100%.
He's like, he can go down a chimney. Who's to say he doesn't do that with his penis to make it long? Of course.
Or he could go all the way up.
He's
in
not
the pussy.
adding. He's not adding matter, so it does become more thin as he elongates it.
I think that was Newton's first rule, was that matter is never created nor destroyed.
Unless you're God.
Or Santa.
Or
Maybe.
Santa.
I don't know. Maybe Santa can bring matter into the universe. But I don't think... I think he stretches his penis, and obviously it becomes thinner as you stretch something in length. So he probably does. I mean, he probably has some fun, because I don't think Santa is necessarily... When he's erect, I don't think he's packing to the point that he's hitting the cervix.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, "Oh, watch this."
Ooh,
stretches
okay.
it, tickles the cervix, and yeah, we still got it.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Super Mega Show. As you can see, there are names scrolling down, and we always got to mention them because
they're
scrolling up. We always got to mention them because it's nice to do so, because they're supporting us, and they're showing their support through monetary support.
Yeah, they're funding our expensive trips that only, you guys could fucking dream of.
They're funding my all-white suit, wearing an all-white suit to a wedding.
Well, wait, you're not supposed to wear white to a wedding, right?
Typically,
Okay,
no.
because I remember you and I went to a wedding.
Well, you will be.
What does that mean?
Nothing.
What does that mean? I don't understand what that means. That I got ejaculated on? Is that the joke?
No, that you'd be wearing the wedding dress or in a bridesmaid's dress.
I see what you're saying. Okay. My mind
You'd
went...
get ejaculated on.
I don't know. That's where my mind went first. Anyway, you and I went to a wedding back in like 2023, shortly before Creator Clash.
And if it's me, you'd be getting yellowed on.
For me, about the same. Probably not yellow, but more of like a... Like, when a book is really old, the color of the paper, it's yellowed.
I love that.
I
had a book called I think this is what its name was, Black Beauty.
Mm-hmm. About the horse?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they talked.
Mm-hmm.
The horse and some of the animals talked and stuff.
Right. I never.
I had an old copy of that book, and or it was my dad's, or maybe it was like even before him, but I just ended up reading it just because the pages felt nice to turn.
Yeah, and they were yellowed, and they have that smell. It's because they have acid in them, and over time the pages something. Dude, I remember Illustrated Classics. They were hardcover, and it was like classic books like Black Beauty or Treasure Island or whatever, and every single page had an illustration. You would 100% know what I'm talking about. Luke, throw one up on screen.
Are the names still scrolling?
Maybe if there's enough. Yeah, maybe they are. Illustrated Classics. I know you remember these, dude.
This is my favorite Patreon's
You remember these books?
Yes.
They had that specific cover format.
You know what?
Luke, you could take the Illustrated Classic off screen now. And here's my favorite patron. You know, we do thank all of you though that support us on Patreon because it really, really, really helps out.
Does this give you nostalgia? I think I've shown you this before.
Let me see. Let me freaking see. The true. Oh yeah.
Did you ever read this?
Yeah, and that same guy illustrated the Stinky Cheese Man.
God.
Remember that book?
Yeah.
He illustrated that one.
But this is what I remember also being.
We'll get into it on Super Mini Show.
Do they ever actually? Is that the only contact they make?
No, there's more contact.
Do they make physical contact?
No, they don't. Well, I don't want to split. Contact is. I really love that
Do
movie.
they kiss the alien?
No. You only see the alien
I was
once,
just joking.
and it's her dad.
That's not.